What is up guys, it is Arcane Games here, back with another video, and in today's video we are going to be playing the fully released version of Arcane Conquest on Roblox, which is a new dungeon crawler that has been, in development in the beta for a couple of years now, but just last week it got fully released to the public and it's gaining a lot of traction, and a lot of people are checking the game out for the first time, which is awesome. But in today's video I'm basically going to give my brief overview of the game, my thoughts on the game, and show you a little bit of what the game has to offer. So let's go. Just quickly though, before we start, I know a lot of you are looking for items and needing legendaries, so to prepare for the Calamity release for Elementalists at least, all of these legendary weapons here I'll be giving away to people in the comments. All you have to do is comment your Roblox username, what your Discord is, and basically one thing you like about AC. Because I know a lot of you have been playing recently, and just give me one thing you like about the game, and over the next coming days I'll be just picking people at random, DMing them, and giving you one of these weapons for free. So I know it ain't mythics, but I'm not too rich at the game at the moment, but hopefully they'll help you out. But yeah, let's go. So as you guys can see on the screen at the moment, you have the option when you first play the game to pick between 5 classes. You have Arcanist, Champion, Elementalist, Paladin, and Shadowmancer. Now, I'm not going to tell you which one's best because I want you guys to pick which one you think, you want to use, and, you should just be able to pick whichever one you want and experiment with the items that you get. And the interesting thing about this game is you can quickly and easily change your classes in the future, so if you end up changing your mind and want to pick a stronger class, or just, have a bit of a different spell usage, then you can completely do that and there is no issue with that at all. So another thing that I want to add on as well is an interesting feature that this game has in comparison to other games is a skill tree. So instead of games like Fabled and DQ where you just got an extra point where you level up and you can either put it into Mage, War or Stamina, this is a little bit different. So those levels, you still get them as skill points, but you can use them on the skill tree instead. Now the left side, these red ones are more of the damage ones, the middle ones are basically about healing, and the right ones are about movement. So you're more or less wanting to go for the damage ones first, then the movement, then the healing, but it is all personal preference. You just have to be aware that you have to upgrade the first two at the top fully before you do any of the bottom ones, in case you wonder why that doesn't work. You have, depending on your level, you will get given active skills that you can use alongside your main 2 spells, and they basically just give buffs, such as this Sorceress Rage, Enter an Infernal Mana Fuel Rage, increasing your damage by 50% for 5 seconds, which is obviously good at the bosses and the mobs when killing them, and it just helps out. An interesting feature. So, you have so many of these that you can use, which how to equip them. For example, my passive skills, you'd click it at the bottom, then it'll highlight the ones that are, the passive skills, which I haven't got any of them upgraded at the moment, so I can't equip any, but when I get higher level, I will be able to. So yeah, just an interesting feature that the game's added, because obviously it is a little bit different. It's a little bit difficult to get used to, especially for new players that skip the tutorial. A lot of them find that they don't know how to work it, but hopefully that's giving you guys a little bit of incentive, to how to use it and which ones to go for. But yeah, moving on, let's go. Now with the cosmetics in this game, they are pretty cool. There's a little currency here when you complete dungeons that is called Arcanium, which you can use to buy cosmetics for free. So depending how much you play the game, you can technically buy stuff for free, which is a pretty nice feature because not a lot of games do that. So then obviously it'll show up here if you buy it, and then you go to your cosmetics and you have armor sets, weapons, stats frame, enchants, titles, auras, and ones converted from items that you choose to do in your inventory. So I believe if you want to click this, then say I wanted this cosmetic, you would click this. This will now become a cosmetic, and it should show up at the bottom left, I believe. Yes, there you go. So, if you want to be funny, rock a different set to the one you're using, make people confused, that's something you could do. But yeah, they have pretty cool cosmetics in the game, and the game passes, just the usual ones. Isn't pay to win, really, at the moment, which is good because some dungeon crawlers are. But you have the VIP, extra item, 2 times currency, crafted materials, inventory space, and cosmetic look, and you can also gift by typing the person's Roblox username in the bottom right, which I will be gifting someone who also comments in this video. So just let me know which game pass you want me to get you, and one of you will be getting a reply within the next couple of days. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Nice. So, like many games, you'll assume that there is an upgrade station where you can upgrade your items, but this game does it slightly differently in comparison to others. So, the weapons, will fully upgrade themselves. You only have the option to upgrade all. But for the armors, you have a little slider here at the bottom from 0 to 1. 0, the closer you go to 0, it fully upgrades HP, and the closer you go to the right, it fully upgrades DPS. So, i.e., if I went straight down the middle, half of the upgrades would go to HP and half of the upgrades would go to DPS. So it's a pretty interesting way of doing things, and again, with the spells and other things that other games do not do, you also have the option to either go fully into cooldown or fully into DPS. So in retrospect, they're basically the same thing. You can either double your damage or half your cooldown, but obviously they're slightly different at the same time, depending on how much damage and the cycles that you can be doing in the groups that you're running. So it's a pretty interesting feature. Now at the moment, with the modes that we have, as you can see on the screen, there is 4 modes that we can choose from, with the 5th one being Calamity, dropping this weekend. So by the time you watch this video, it may already be out. But at the moment, it goes up to the highest Arcane mode, with the same as the beta, having the 3 different difficulties: infinite lives, 3 lives, and 1 life, and it being hardcore mode. And obviously, the harder mode you choose, the better rewards you get, just like any other game. It's all pretty familiar stuff, which you guys probably already know. So realistically, you want to be running hardcore, which you can with every class, by the way. Even Paladin, you can be doing damage. Everybody thinks it's just a heal and a buff, class, but you can also do quite a bit of damage yourself. So, don't worry too much about that having to find groups. So yeah, Arcane's going to be the highest at the moment, depending on VIP and whether you have extra item. These are going to be different rates, but realms and events are going to be in future updates, and yeah, that's basically the dungeons. So at the moment, it's a pretty short dungeon. It's a pretty nice dungeon. It's kind of the mix of the 2 that were in the beta, so I'm going to be showing you guys that in a second. But if we come over here, there's a leaderboard, by the way, and you have daily rewards, which I think are every 8 hours. I claimed mine before, so I won't be able to get it now. But there's also selling items, which a little quality of life. You are able to click on certain items and certain rarities that you want to sell, and you also have the ability to lock certain items in case you don't want to accidentally sell them, such as tier 2 armors in the highest mode, because obviously they're the end game gear that you probably don't want selling. But yeah, I'm basically probably now just going to go into the dungeon, show you guys what it looks like, and give my overall thoughts on the game. And as you can see, I'm Elementalist, so depending on your class, it's obviously going to be different spells, all that stuff you guys already know. But yeah, I'm going to go into a dungeon, and yeah, let's see what happens. Let's go. Okay guys, just please be mindful that I am a console main at heart, and I barely play PC, so the gameplay may be a little scuff. But yeah, just going to go through the dungeon. It's not necessarily going to be fast, but it's going to be showing you the rate at some groups will be doing it, and obviously if you're in a bigger group, then you're going to be doing it at an even faster pace than I am. But Elementalist, it has really good range spells, which is good for me if you want to stay back. You have lower HP because of that, which is why you have to stay back. But when you get the good gear, you get a ton of HP anyways, so it's not so much a bad thing, just more in the beginning. And the music's good, the dungeon's fun. Depending on the mode you do, there will be different mobs and different bosses to keep the gameplay nice and fresh. And yeah, it's pretty balanced at the moment. There is some classes that are better than others, but I won't spoil them for you guys. You guys can figure that out for yourselves when you do play. Now again, I do definitely suggest you do play in a group, at least 2 people, because of the the way the map's laid out, and the different areas that you've got to go through. But yeah, it is very solo friendly. Depending on your intermissions, you are able to keep up at a steady pace if you are by yourself, and it's pretty easy to do. I played the release in a group, but I know a lot of people that soloed, and they didn't really have a problem being able to complete the dungeons if they got the appropriate loot. But yeah, anyways, so the game's released after a good, couple of years. There has been a lot of release dates thrown around that unfortunately things ended up coming up and they didn't happen, but luckily this time it did happen. So the game's been out. It started on about 700 players on release, and now it's peaking about 3,000. So it's very nice to see that a lot of people are beginning to find this game, and it is getting the traction that it deserves, which is definitely what you want to see with these games. A lot of games nowadays don't necessarily deserve the play counts they get, and just dungeon crawlers in general don't get too many plays as the genre it is. It's just not very popular on, at least on Roblox anyways. So it's good to see that the game's doing good. Again, very nice to see, especially since me playing with only 10 players in the beta, having 3,000 people playing the game on not even like a week of the game being out in full release is just absolutely crazy. But hopefully it's a good sign of better things to come. I know the owner and the devs have a lot of things in plan for future updates, and they do have a lot of funds to do it and a lot of motivation to get the updates going. So don't worry about that. There should be updates coming a lot quicker than it took to make the release of the game, I'm sure of it. And yeah, so far, honestly, the dungeon, for a first dungeon, I think it's like, there's quite a lot of content on it. You look at other games like DQ, Fabled Legacy, just all the main ones. All the first dungeons, they aren't exactly difficult. They're not meant to be. They're supposed to entice players in. Because if they were like incredibly difficult, it will turn a lot of people away. But for a first dungeon, it's actually not bad at all. It's probably the most content the game's ever had. Albeit that's why it took quite a while to come out. But we're here now, and that's all that matters. And yeah, I'm really enjoying the game at the moment. I will put the Discord server link in the description, in case any of you guys would like to give it a go yourselves. And yeah, the game is fun. I honestly suggest you guys do try it. I appreciate you guys watching the video. It's just kind of a short one, showing the game a little bit of what it's all about. But yeah, that's basically it. I've been iGrind Games. We got basically nothing, and I am out. Peace.